Hello and welcome to Peculiar English. And today we're going to look at adjectives followed by prepositions. And that can be tricky because you need to know the right preposition to go with the adjective. And I'm sure you've all learnt words like interested in and afraid of, etc. And it can be a little bit peculiar because there are so many different adjectives with different prepositions. But I hope today we'll have a look at some useful tips. So let's look at some examples. We've got these two words expressing feelings: worried, nervous, and they go with about. And about is the most common one used with feelings. Here are a couple of examples. I'm worried about my assessments. I'm nervous about speaking in public. These next two words are both to do with ability, and that's to be good or hopeless, which means bad, at something. For example, I'm getting better at referencing. I've always been hopeless at maths. So the next two are with for. Students are responsible for enrolling for next semester. Notre Dame is known for its extended placements. What that means is that students doing, for example, nursing have longer clinical placements in the program at Notre Dame than in most universities. So that's something the university is known for. And finally, these last two are reactions to something that happened. Disappointed or satisfied with. For example, I was disappointed with my grades. Most students were highly satisfied with the course. Okay, so like the other episodes of Peculiar English, we're going to give you some practice. In this case, I've just given you some sentences with some other adjectives. But I think you can get these because they're related to the ones I showed you before with a similar meaning. And remember that you can also click at the top of the page, and then you can do this as an interactive exercise. But in any case, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to do it. I will pause. You can pause this recording yourself, and then we'll go through the answers. Okay, so I hope that gave you enough time to do it. Let's go through these. The first one, anxious. It's a feeling, isn't it? Like worried. So I'm feeling anxious about the prospect. Prospect is something that's going to happen in future. Here, the next one you can see is ability. In the previous example, we saw hopeless, and this one we have useless, but the meaning is the same. It means very bad. I'm useless at referencing. The next one is a restaurant very close to the Fremantle campus of Notre Dame. People here say Cicerello's, and they're famous for their fish and chips because they're just by the sea. The next one, you can see it's a reaction to something that happened. And we already saw a couple of examples. This one, it's I was dissatisfied with their response. The next one is also a reaction to something. And in this case, it's she was not very happy with her accommodation. Happy can be a general feeling. And as a general feeling, we're happy about things. But in the sense of satisfied, okay, in reaction to some service, for example, it's happy with, in a similar way to satisfied and dissatisfied. The next one, it's basically a different way of saying responsible, and it has the same preposition. Who is answerable for this disaster? Next one, it's ability, meaning very good. And like the other words for ability, it's great at. And finally, the last one is clearly a feeling. Are you excited about going on placement? So I hope that helped you to see that although prepositions may seem like a peculiar and difficult thing, when you look at the meaning and you put them in groups, they're not really so peculiar at all.